It's funny. One of the things that struck me as a kid before I got into jazz, um, Tossin and Turning was one of these hits I loved. And there used to be a Saturday afternoon program on local St. Louis TV that was kind of their version of American Bandstand. So I think it's Bobby Lewis showed up to sing Tossin and Turner, but he didn't tour with a band or anything or backup singers. So they had this local band and gospel singers singing the backup. And it was just the most incredible sound. And this is like a year, or as I'm working my way up to getting into jazz, that really hit me, you know. But what you're talking about so much, and we'll get into this, has to do with the exposure that's available to you. And when you talk about the Smothers Brothers, our friend Rocco Landisman, who you now know, um, his father and uncle owned an antique store, and they also owned a nightclub in an area of St. Louis called Gaslight Square, which was St. Louis's attempt to create Greenwich Village. And their nightclub was called the Crystal Palace, and the people who performed there, Lenny Bruce, Barbara Streisand, I believe, may have performed there, the Smothers Brothers, and some of these people would stay at the Landisman's house when they were in town for these gigs. So I said to Rocco recently that he introduced me to the demi-monde, uh, you know, before I knew what it was. But but his family was sort of the bohemian family in St. Louis. His aunt, Fran Landisman, was a great lyricist. She wrote the lyrics to Spring Can Really Hang You Up the Most and Ballad of the Sad Young Men and many, many great songs. So there was that exposure. We can get into all of this as we
Well,
go.
that whole thing is so amazing to me. Yeah, I think it was Billy Crystal, right? His father had something to do with
His uncle started Commodore Records, a guy named
yeah.
Milt Gabler, and went on to be a producer at Decca, who produced Billie Holiday's recordings during her middle period, um, and other great jazz. But Commodore became this legendary jazz label. He owned a record store. He started recording in the store in the mid to late 30s and created this incredible treasury of music. And I think that's where Billy Crystal got his insights into jazz.